Well, hello everyone. Now in playoffs, and we have some interesting matchups here. First off, congrats to everyone who uh made it here. Been a interesting season to say the least. Um, Now let's look at the brackets that we got here, the matchups. Well, we'll start with we did have a matchup that was played already before this was recorded. The Lions and Saints. As you can see here, Detroit got a surprise um berth with the playoffs. Played pretty solid, won the NFC North. Um and they beat the New Orleans Saints pretty convincingly, even though they had 200 yards of offense. Like, that is insane. Um, However, Saints just could not stop committing turnovers. 8 turnovers by the Saints, zero for the Lions. Um, just an all around um careless with the ball with the Saints. Like I said, it's just insane that you have 200 yards of offense and you dominate a game just off of turnovers. So the Lions will be moving on to the divisional round. Their opponent is yet to be determined. But now we look at since we're over here, we're gonna look at the NFC. We have the Cardinals and 49ers as a 3-6 matchup. This is interesting because the Cardinals actually swept the Niners this year. Niners just played a close game with them just last week. They lost by one to the Cardinals. Cardinals have the MVP of the league in Kyler Murray, which is also pretty wild to say. Yeah, so this matchup can be go either way. It's kind of hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, but said the Cardinals have been doing very well against the Niners this season. So that game could be a toss up. It's probably gonna come down to turnovers, just like anything. Most of these games. Um, Cardinals have just been pretty good offensively. And like I said, they have the MVP in Kyler Murray. The Niners have played kind of ball control offense this year. The Niners actually got off to a really, really hot start. They started, I believe, 7-0 and ended the season 9-8. So, we will see what the Niners will have for the Cardinals. All right, sticking with the NFC, we have the 2-7 matchup, which is the Bucks versus the Packers. Now the Bucks and Packers did play earlier in the year, and the Bucks were victorious. Um, it's a pretty close game that came down to a last um, final drive turnover by the Packers, which resulted in the game in the Bucks victory by 10. Now this matchup should be interesting to look at um, because we have the Bucks have sported the best passing offense as far as yards go, and the Packers have the best pass defense in the league. So it'll be interesting to see which um which side prevails in that matchup. I said Brady still slinging it even at 45. The Packers had the best pass defense in the league as far as yards given up, so we will see how that matchup will go. Um, Now you look at the number one seed in the NFC, which was the Dallas Cowboys, who pretty much dominated from start to finish. Um, they played in the NFC least, where they were very uncontested. I believe they clinched the division in like week 12, something like that. So the Cowboys have been the class of the NFC um, this entire time. They also beat the Bucks pretty handily early in the season. So yeah, the NFC has belonged to the Cowboys this entire time. Um, and their matchup, um, I anticipate that the Cowboys will um be in that NFC Championship game, contending for a Super Bowl. Um, they've ran the ball very well with Zeke. They've kept their turnovers down, and they've gotten turnovers themselves. So yeah, they've been the class of the NFC. Um, Now we will flip gears and look at the um AFC. So um, look at the 2-7 matchup between the Colts and Jaguars. The Colts um have just ran the ball very, very well. Had with Jonathan Taylor. Their passing offense has been pretty pedestrian with newly acquired Jordan Love. Um, they're facing Jaguars team that they have beaten in the regular season. Um, Spread on this game, according to the site, is 5. Jaguars have had problems holding on to the ball, a lot of turnovers. So I anticipate that the Colts will be the ones leading at the end of this game. Um, Colts have the leading have the interceptions leading in Nick Cross, safety. So I expect that that game will be taken care of by the Colts. Ultimately, it come down to turnovers. Now, next matchup we got is the Dolphins and Broncos. The Broncos have been playing pretty good football throughout the season. It's acquiring Russell Wilson. Now, this game should be pretty close. Um, the Dolphins have been pretty anemic offensively, especially passing. They sport one of the worst passing offenses in the league currently, but they've just gritted out games. They've just found ways to win games. Um, whether it's turnovers or just making sure they get points on a drive, whether it's you know field goals or whatnot. But yeah, the Dolphins have been you know challenge offensively, but they just have just gritted through games, committed a little less turnovers than their opponent. So this game is a toss up. Like I said, the Broncos have been playing pretty good football this entire season. So, um, yeah, this can be a real toss up here. We'll see what the Dolphins can come up with. Um, and then the final matchup, the AFC, um, the Browns and Chargers. Now, the Chargers have been far and away the second best team in the AFC. It's just unfortunate that they had to be in a division with the Chiefs. The Chargers actually played the Broncos. I mean, not the Broncos, the Browns. Earlier in the year and had a pretty good game against them. Um, so I would anticipate the same similar result. I said the Chargers have been the second best team in the AFC. They just unfortunately pl- played with the Chiefs, who have been just all around dominant. Chiefs really have been flawless. Their margin of victory has been crazy. None of the games have been particularly close. The Chiefs take care of the ball. Um, they have Frank Clark up there in sacks. Um, so far, um, this season it looks like it could be a collision course for the Chiefs and Cowboys because those two teams have far and away been the first and second best teams in the league. Now, um, I don't really anticipate either team getting upset, but you know, there's still the playoffs. It's just a one game, single elimination. Anything can happen. But ultimately, I feel like the season is gonna just come down to the Chiefs and Cowboys. Like um, that's always look like. So um, we will see what the playoffs will hold. Um, and thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully, we can get some guests on the next one. Alrighty, peace.